Now for Mark Levin's short takes on LevinTV.
I've said many times, if you hate the United States, you probably hate Israel. And if you hate Israel, you probably hate the United States. Now, as for apartheid, there is apartheid in the Middle East. In every single Arab/Muslim country, there's apartheid. The way they treat their women, the way they treat gay people, the way they treat minorities, religious minorities. And that could be even Muslim minorities, as there are two sects of Islam, as you know. But what you will not find outside of Israel are large Christian communities, are large Jewish communities in any of these Arab countries. And yet, Judaism was founded right there. Christianity was founded right there. You even look at Bethlehem today. Bethlehem used to be a majority Christian. Bethlehem today is a majority, quote, Palestinian, unquote. It was 70% Christian, now it's 70% Palestinian. Why? Because people are forced out, people are threatened, people's homes are seized, not by the Jews and the Israelis. You look at the Temple Mount, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's said to be the third holiest site for Islam. Well, Islam didn't exist for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after Judaism did, and Christianity for that matter. That Temple Mount was one of the holiest sites for the Jews. Why? It was part of the first temple and the second temple. And you'll see Jews up against the Western Wall. And then when you look up towards your right, there's the Temple Mount. So what happened? The Muslims built their mosque on the Temple Mount, on what was considered, if not the holiest, one of the holiest Jewish sites when they controlled that area. And some people, well, there's a dispute over this. You're damn right there's a dispute over it. So what did the Israelis do when they recaptured that in 1967, after the Jordanians took it over in 1948? What did they do? They didn't seize the Temple Mount. They didn't annex the Temple Mount. Even though it's under Israeli security, they allowed the Palestinians/Arabs/Muslims to continue to operate the mosque, to continue to go to the mosque, and Jews, for the most part, are not permitted on the Temple Mount. Not unless there's protection, not unless there's special approval. It's just very, very difficult. So one of the holiest areas for the Jews is now mostly off limits to the Jews, protected by the Israelis for the Palestinians/Arabs for the Muslims. Does that sound like apartheid to you? Palestinians, quote unquote, Palestinians in Israel get to vote. They have members in parliament. They have judges. They have due process rights. They have property rights. What's happening, though, is they demand more of the territory of Israel. They claim that Judea and Samaria is the West Bank of Jordan. It wasn't the West Bank of anything until 1948, when Jordan took it for 19 years. The Israelis took it back. It's called Judea and Samaria. Judea, like Jewish. And if there's ever been an indigenous people to that area of the world, or any area of the world, it's the Jews. Now, I don't mean to get into all of this, into all the detail, but there's nobody there to counter this. Nobody. How many Jews get to vote in Arab countries? The ones that are surviving? None. How many have due process rights? None. How many serve in any parliament? They don't have any parliaments. How many of them serve in any court system? I mean, flip it. Flip it. And same with Christians. Where are all the Christians in the Middle East? Where did they go? Where did they go? Is the whole Middle East owned by the Arabs and the Muslims? So that you have this little sliver of land the size of New Jersey, you've got a massive Middle East? And that's just too much. You see, that's apartheid. But apartheid is practiced in the Middle East by the Arab Muslim countries. There's no question about it. But she won't say a word about that. You know where else apartheid is practiced? Throughout Africa. Depending on if it's a Muslim majority country or Christian majority country, you still have tribal battles going on on that continent. Again, you must not ever talk about it, ever. It's America, you see, and it's Israel. They're the focus of hate. Go ahead.
And nothing would have prepared me for how much clarity I would have on why we have to be a part of Palestinian solidarity.
to be a part of Palestinian solidarity. With whom? Hamas? Did she go to the Gaza Strip? Did she see how Hamas treats its people? There's no voting going on in Hamas. There's no representation of Hamas. There's no democracy, transnational or otherwise. There's no economic activity because they take all the money that's provided to them from the EU and the UN and others to build tunnels to attack the Jews. There's no progress whatsoever. People say, well, look, it's a tiny little area. Remember Hong Kong? Hong Kong was the most prosperous, free area on the face of the earth, including the United States, until the communist Chinese, the Marxists, destroyed it by violating a deal they cut with the British. A deal they cut with the British to keep their hands off of Hong Kong. You see what they've done. So this is what's going on. And you can see the anti-Semitism, the anti-Americanism, that Black Lives Matter is not a pro-black organization. It is a pro-Marxist organization.
For more, sign up for LevinTV.